Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Erska Belly Up Sports Series race from Lernerville. Dom Santina here in the booth. David Westergreen and Emily Harland, of course, in pit road, helping us out down there.
Hello, everybody, and
From the
welcome
pits,
to
we're getting
the
ready to go dirt
Erska
racing,
Belly Up
David, here. Pretty
Sports
excited about
Series
this one.
Yeah, this is going to
race
be a really
from-
entertaining race. I think it's going to be something completely unique to iRacing in general. Xfinity Series NASCARs do not have dirt tires on the sim. This is a completely created setup by Johnny Thomas, Kyle Hanshaw, and a bunch of the guys who run Erska from the officials, and they have created a setup that I think is really fun to drive. I spent some time this weekend running it, and these guys are going to put on a show tonight. It's very, very treacherous here at Lernerville. The wall, there is none through turn 2 and down the back straightaway here. You'll see it when these cars start to go around as Dylan Thomas is on the pole overall, and he is a very, very accomplished dirt racer. This track is treacherous. These guys are going to have to weigh the consequences of speed versus safety here tonight.
Yeah, of course, David. I come over from the Dirt Racing Network, seen a lot of 410 and modified series races here at Lernerville. That cushion usually works its way up to the top line of the racetrack, and it is razor thin. You jump that cushion over the berm, you will go. That back wall is a ways away, but you will lose a ton of time and position. You jump that berm, and we're going to do it real dirt racing style here tonight. We're going to have 3 heat races, a consolation, and then our main. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. Top 6 will qualify out of each heat race and consolation and set our 24-car field for the main.
Looks like we might actually have a slight update to that. They skipped Heat 3, so we'll have to check with Johnny Thomas. Maybe after his heat race, we'll pull him into the booth for Heat 2 and see if he can't elaborate on the rest of the rules. But pace car is getting ready to pull off. We're going to go dirt racing here. We didn't get to pull Emily in yet, but we'll get you in here, Emily, to kind of make your pick for the night. Maybe we'll see how it goes after this first heat race.
Going to be Dylan Thomas, Ethan Burrell on the front row, Scott Crump, Kyle Hanshaw, Johnny Thomas, and Lutz. Your top 6. Green flag in the air. Here we go. Go into turn 1 and 2, and we'll see. Some will choose the bottom. Some will go up to the top like Burrell.
Burrell off the track.
Yep, there goes Burrell. First casualty over the berm. Lutz barely kept it on the track as well.
There's a long way to go, though. I think there's a lot of time to make up spots. And remember, the top 6 do transfer here, so a lot of guys hunting that top 6 right now. That 6th spot held by Johnny Thomas. He and Thomas Sherman doing battle, but for now, though, it's all Dylan Thomas out front, and he's a dirt wizard. I think it's going to be really tough for these guys to touch him tonight.
Yeah, Thomas almost, though, blew turn 1 and 2. He tried to put a slider line in there off the start and almost went over the berm, slid it in a little too deep. He's got it figured out now, though. That 03 is rolling, going center in, sliding up to the top of the track. And he is got it on a rail right now, out by over a second already here with 12 laps left to go.
Impressed by these guys. We do have some contact in the back. Josh Adams is going to spin Michael Goodman. Oh, and that's going to be our first caution as Adams got it hit by Richard Lafferty, and Goody is on his roof.
Yeah, not a good shot there. A couple cars getting together. We'll go back and take a replay of it.
Yeah, they came off a turn 4 3 wide there. Richard Lafferty kind of slid up in front of Goodman, and he got tangled up with the Adams, and then right there, the touch, another one, and it sends Goody hard into the inside wall. That'll ruin the Heat 1 for the 73 car.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to our consolation race. It'll be interesting to watch for sure. See if he can battle back and make it into the feature. But good few opening laps here in heat race number 1. Dylan Thomas looks like, as David said, he's going to be the man to beat here tonight.
And it's interesting because this is a real equalizer. Ethan Burrell, Ryan Lutz, Matthew Weeks have all told me how much they're going to struggle with this car. Josh Adams as well. A lot of our competitive drivers up near the top of the point standings, all really struggling with this setup and with the handling of this Xfinity car on the dirt. I mean, let's go ahead and do our picks here under this first caution. I think that's probably a good way to go. I mean, we've seen a little bit, so whoever picks first might get Dylan Thomas. We'll send it to Emily first. Emily, who you got tonight?
Hi, can I pick first and pick Dylan Thomas?
Yes.
that's that's what I think I'm gonna go with. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect when it comes to this. I'm just super excited to see what these guys do. But I will go ahead with the recommendation from you guys and choose Dylan.
Sounds good. I think his biggest competition might be inside him right here. Kyle Hanshaw was told by me from Tate Lytle that Hanshaw's real good at the dirt. So Dylan and Hanshaw, the two guys who are strong. Hanshaw going after the lead, but Thomas holds strong on the top.
Yeah, we'll have to
At
see if
least
Crump holds into it too. He got loose. Yeah, it looks like he's gone around, lost a couple positions.
2 or 3 cars jumped off the barrier there. Brandon Scott's headed to the back. I think also Crump, like you said, pretty constant here. It's just a matter of weighing that treachery versus speed. Do you want to risk jumping the cushion as Crump just smashes in the back of Lutz?
Appeared a little bit too much speed there through 3 and 4. Didn't get the car turned. Kind of went in a straight angle. It's into Lutz. And let me tell you, there might be one weakness to Dylan Thomas. And it's that initial restart. Thomas is driving a little too deep into turns 1 and 2. Almost blew the berm both times. Hanshaw almost got under him. But now that he's got going back up and we're back green flag racing, he's checking out once again.
Zishan pounded the wall there in the 10 car, and you see Ethan Burrell's really struggling with getting into the transfer spot. He's sitting in 8th right now, and that car looks evil. Just can't get the power down coming off these corners. Ethan trying to cut to the bottom a little bit, and that just seems to be killing his straightaway speed. As Zishan hits it again, he's up on his side. That might bring out the caution. No, he keeps it straight. The 10 car really struggling out of turn 4.
Yeah, he pounded that front wall down, coming down the front stretch just after the finish line. It's got to affect the handling of that 10 car for sure. A lot of damage to the right side after slamming into that one. And biggest thing here about dirt racing, throttle control, keeping that car underneath you. You saw Burrell trying to get that car to rotate a little bit, and almost rotating a little bit too much. And if you get to that point, you lose a lot of momentum.
Thomas Sherman.
You lose a lot of momentum. Ethan knows he's got to get up here in a transfer spot. He's trying to get that 37 car to go. He's close, but he's got to make it work.
And in all these laps, you've got really one fast groove, and everybody's running up there. So not a whole lot of room to pass unless you throw a slide job or you run over somebody and hit him in the rear and get him sideways and get him up out of the way. I mean, that's what is Ethan Burrell going to do from 8th spot? He needs to go ahead and get into the race so he doesn't get those 25th place points and stays in the competition with Lutz as he bounces off of Sherman once again.
Yeah, and this track eventually, as we start to work it in, will develop a second groove, and it'll get a little bit more racy. But right now, just one groove at this time, and Burrell still beating the doors down.
Sent Thomas Sherman down the hill. As it stands, Ethan Burrell's going to have a couple of more laps to decide it. Hanshaw's going for the lead.
Kyle Hanshaw has tracked down Dylan Thomas' car off the wall there. There goes Crump. He
Stop.
gets a right rear from Hanshaw. Comes right back on. He'll stay in the 3rd position. Had enough gap between him and Lutz as we come to the white flag.
Flag on the heat here. Dylan Thomas and Hanshaw. That's a battle. The battle for the transfer spot is between Campbell and Burrell. Burrell's gotten around Sherman. He's going to slide Campbell, and he knocks Campbell off the track.
Little slider there, contact, but it might actually work against them. Here comes Sherman around the outside. He's going to steal that 6th position. Burrell going to go with the slider, try to take him out. Can't get it done. Sherman will get the 6th and final transfer spot.
Ethan Burrell's going to have to go to the qualifying race. So Thomas wins it, Hanshaw 2nd, Crump 3rd in a really fantastic finish. Dirt racing is so fun because there's just battles all over the racetrack. Then you have Lutz 4th, Thomas 5th, Sherman 6th. Those are the guys who transfer. Ethan Burrell 7th place. He does not transfer even after bouncing it off of Gerald Campbell. So maybe we'll send Emily down there during this mid-break to see if she can't get a word with maybe Ethan Burrell and see if that she knows what his plan is for this consolation race. While she does that, I'm going to try to call Johnny Thomas up to the booth and see if we can't get Johnny to see if he can explain the rules a little bit further, because I'm not sure how many were taken from the consolation race. I imagine it'll be 12.
That would be my guess.
Jack Reitz will be on the pole. First time we've seen him this season. Jared Mokard will be starting 2nd in this race.
It'll be Leininger and Sobel and Delicato Francis. Ayuk, my hand, right, Lytle.
So I never made my pick. My pick's gonna be Damian Leininger, and he's gonna hate me for it. He's gonna tell me you jinxed me. But Damian's really good at these dirt tracks. We ran some practice laps at Lernerville, and he's really fast. I couldn't really touch him. He's got really good rhythm. If he can get up there and battle with Dylan Thomas, I think he'll have a chance at beating him. But it's going to take a really, really strong effort from that 12 car.
All right, then you left him on the table. I'm going to take Kyle Hanshaw. He was given a challenge there to Thomas at the end of heat number 1. You give him more laps, more time to get up there. I think he's got a shot at winning this one.
Yeah, I think so too. Hanshaw really did give Dylan Thomas a run for his money in race 1 there. So we'll have to see if maybe Jack Reitz or Jared Mogart or Damian Leininger have anything for Dylan Thomas once we get to the feature race.
All right, I think we're going to go green this time on a turn number 4. Lights are off. The Chevy Silverado iRacing pace truck will go off to the right instead of heading down pit road. That's where pit road is, back behind turns 3 and 4. Green flag in the air. Reitz and Mogard going to lead us to heat race number 2. Mogard with a good jump, and he's going to carry the momentum into 3 and 4 and choose that top lane.
Coming up the track near Josh Sobel, nearly cleared him off the track. Everyone gets by all right.
Mogard with a run off the top side. He'll carry it into 3 and 4. We'll see if he can continue the momentum to the line. He will. New race leader, Jared Mogard.
Reitz trying that inside lane in the number 26 car. He will clear Mogard now into 3. Sobel washes out. Here comes Leininger to the top.
Yeah, he got a little help there from from Leininger, giving him a little bump to the back. Reitz trying to feather the throttle on that top line and block Mogard. He's made the move up to the top line in 3 and 4. He'll take the middle line through 1 and 2, and it's a stack up as Mogard gets a loose up there on the top side.
Just blows him away there, going down the back straightaway, and now Mogard's left to defend from Sobel and Leininger. Looks like Joe Francis has moved into 5th. He's another one that I think might have something for these guys. If he can get up here, Damian's going to come close to breaching that cushion. You just have to be so careful. The line between fast and gone off the track is so razor thin. These guys are going to be dancing with it all night long.
Yeah, it is about half a tire length. If you get over that, you're over the berm. Leininger having barely just keeping it on up there on turn 2. Joe Francis, another name that, David, you said pre-race would be one to contend. We'll see if he can make his way up here and battle for one of these top spots.
He turned it down off the top too early. That's going to be trouble for the 12 car. He's going to lose the spot to Joe Francis. Luckily, all this is well within the range of that transfer spot. That's held right now by Nick and Delicato, and his teammate Matthew Bayuk is on his tail, hounding him down for that spot.
Yeah, a little less than a second between those two for 6th and 7th. And then it is Lytle, Wright, and My Hand rounding out your top 10. Battle for the second position. Here comes Joe Francis. And Joe Francis. Francis has got around both of them. He's marching his way to the front. He's up to the 3rd spot. Going to try to run down Mogard now.
Yep. I thought Sobel was going after Mogard, but it was Francis who went after Sobel. Francis jumps in there, and the guy moving up so far that I've seen is Tate Lytle. He's the only one. Oh, Sobel's off the track. That's not good.
And he's going to have trouble re-entering the track. He's going to have to go down the whole backstretch, re-enter in 3 and 4. Going to lose a couple spots. There you go, back to 6th after running in the 4th spot. Leininger and Delicato will get by.
Yep, he slowed up Matthew Bayuk there, and Tate Lytle tried to take advantage. He's trying to throw that slider on the bottom. You're going to see Tate bounce off of Sobel, and it sends Sobel off again.
Little bit of contact there. Lytle went with the big slider there through the corner. It'll work to his advantage. He's now in the 6th and final transfer spot, but now he's hitting the outside wall down the front stretch.
It's the battle for the transfer spot. It's between Bayuk and Tate Lytle. Sobel trying to get back in there. He seems like he's got a pretty good car. If he can just stay on the track, he got knocked off once. He went off on his own once. That's the danger, right? Is if you end up off the track, you lose so much ground. It's so tough to get back on. And you're just dancing on that line all night long. Tate Lytle able to kind of drive away from Bayuk now, so it's battle for 7th. And this is basically for 2nd in the consolation race, the B main as it were. And you've got some guys back here behind this group that are just big, heavy hitters. James Heater, Nick Massey, way outside the battle for the transfer spot. Yeah, Heater's even off the track. Marshall Stanley too. Yeah, we got a crash on track, so let's hit the replay. I think Heater might have sent it off the track on one of these corners.
Yeah, and I was going to say, David, we've seen these guys go
Right
off
there.
track, but there you go. We had not seen someone really launch it out of the corner, and even there, Francis able to lock it down pretty well before getting to that, what is a wall way out there. But these guys have been lucky when they do blow the berm, it's just slightly, and they're able to get back on track. But there will be some time where you go over that berm and airmail it like Francis or Heater just did, and that's more than 1 or 2 spots. That's 5, 6, maybe 10 spots.
That's a lapse. That's lapse of penalty there for you. Jack Reitz just absolutely dominated this heat race. Clear that he's kind of a dirt ringer for us this today, in the light of Boris said, or even Bobby, somebody. Crap, can't remember his name. But anyway, Jack Reitz goes ahead and wins heat number 2. Jared Mogard second, Joe Francis third. They are in. Damian Leininger's going to come off turn 4 and get 4th. And Delicato 5th, Lytle 6th, and that leaves Matthew Bayou, Chris Wright, Nick Massey, Jeff Green, James Heater, Josh Clark, all hanging out into this B main. It's going to be a tough fight.
So I just got official word from Johnny. I think it will be 12 cars transferring from the B main to the A main. So
Yeah,
we'll be keeping an eye on that.
That's good news for both Ethan Burrell and Gerald Campbell, a couple of guys there who are going to be starting up front. Matthew Bayuk as well. They've all got every chance here. The battle, we've got 22 cars in this B main. We're only taking 12, so the battle for that transfer spot will be in 12th. And a lot of those guys who were down there that had struggles in those first 2 races, James Heater, Michael Goodman, this is their final shot. This is their only chance to make it into the feature race. Otherwise, they get 25th place points and they are sent home.
And it's going to be aggressive for that final 12 spot. Watch for some bumping and banging, maybe sending someone through the corner like we just saw. We'll see how it all comes down. But starting lineup will be Burrell and Bayuk on the front row, Adam Sobel, row number 2, Campbell, My Hand in row number 3, Weeks Wright in row number 4, and Fambro and Hines will round out the top 10.
To give you guys an idea of just how crazy this could potentially get, Nick Massey starting 12th. And you've got Josh Clark and James Heater well outside Scott Crump. No, he was in. But yeah, so you've got some guys on the outside. Brandon Scott currently 15th. Jeff Green 14th. I mean, there's a lot of positions that could be sent home. And if some of these guys up front, like Ethan Burrell, aren't careful, I mean, they're going to run out of racetrack. They're going to run out of time. And laps to decide it here. This elimination race will be this B main. And I also wonder if maybe Gerald Campbell doesn't get back at Ethan Burrell if he gets a chance.
Yeah, we will see for sure. 12 cars going to transfer to the A main. The rest are going to pack it up for the night and go home to in their hauler early and ready to go green once again.
We got a little bit of a timing and scoring issue over here on the left. Hopefully that clears up once they go green. Though it seems like the lap counter is messing up a little bit there as well. So we'll see if we can't get that sorted out. It might just be the whole heat race B main feature as we go green. Ethan Burrell and puts it on the gas, and he's going to try to slide up in front of Matthew Bayou.
Green flag in the air. Burrell, can he hold it? Yes, he will. He'll dive back off the corner. He kind of diamonded it there. 1 and 2. Got a good start now. Going to get that car just out a little bit, and he's right on that edge, right on the ragged edge of the cushion there in 3 and 4.
Out back of the field. Josh Clark went for a spin. Might have been off the front bumper of Richard Lafferty. It came after a stack up where Colin Fambro bounced off of somebody. And remember, Fambro's in this race. He's in the top 10 in points as well. So just a difficult start for a lot of our guys who are really high in points. I think Josh Clark is like 15th in points. Bang, yeah, sent straight off the track by Nick Lafferty. Lafferty hit hard by, looked like Hines. I think it was Clark re-entering the track that drew the caution.
Yeah, that was it. When he went over the berm, came back on, caution flag flies.
Yep. So we don't have caution. We don't have caution laps counting in this race. So that's good news. Yeah. So that's fixed our timing and scoring there. It is still fluctuating a little bit oddly there, but yeah, that's got to be what it is. I hope it's not freezing your iRacing there though. Looks like, yeah, okay, we're good now. Ethan Burrell still your race leader in this. Josh Adams struggled on that restart though. He has not enjoyed this transition to dirt.
No, not at all. But he looked better there during that first lap or two here during the B main. He got that car winged out just a little bit. Was making some good ground, starting to pull away from Bayuk just a little bit. We'll see if he can hold on. He doesn't have to win. As long as he's in the top 12, that's all that matters.
Yep, so that's the battle right now, and Nick Massey is the final transfer car. Jordan Owens the first car out. Jeff Green, Brandon Scott, James Heater, Josh Clark, they all have work to do to get back into this race.
They struck down and away again. Here we go. Got a car entering late, but green flag back in the air. And we are off. Ethan Burrell going to get the jump on Bayuk. Here comes Sobel and Adams behind him.
Yep, that's not really the battle though. The winner of the B main, you know, they love the praise, but the battle is for 12th. You've got to make it into the feature.
Sobel over the berm again.
And Gerald Campbell together. Sobel's off the track again, and Sobel's outside now. He hit the wall. Sobel's way back. He's going to need a caution to catch back up.
Yep, and there you go, David. That's it. He couldn't get back over the berm. Had to go all the way around the corner. You can't run the speed out there on the outside of the berm that you can on the inside. He loses 10-plus positions, and he's most likely out of this one.
Yep, big battle here between Jeff Green, Richard Lafferty, and Richard Hines for that transfer spot. Right now it belongs to Lafferty. Heater sideways. He bounces it off of Goodman. Lafferty takes up to 11th from Richard Hines, so Hines now the one on the bubble. Everyone else kind of scrambling, trying to make their way back up. Lafferty slides it. Green into the transfer spot.
You know, Sobel, we've said it. He looks like he's got a pretty fast car, pretty decent at this dirt track stuff. And there goes Lafferty.
Josh Clark is up to 13th. A huge move for Josh Clark.
The way they're beating and banging on each other, and, you know, Sobel may still not be out of this because I think Heater just put a big slider into somebody. They're really banging on each other back here.
Watching Josh Clark, we're on him right now. He's got to make up one more position if he wants to get in. And there's the caution, so Clark will have his chance. Ethan Burrell is the one off, and he comes back on and slams into his teammate.
The leader blows the burn there in 3 and 4. Doesn't look like he's really done any damage to the 37 car.
They're going to let him back up to the lead, too. So iRacing giving Ethan Burrell back his spot. That's pretty generous. I think he just overshot it here. I mean, this is what we've been talking about, just how dangerous it is. And yeah, just like that, the right rear tire is off. Burrell slides it sideways. Doesn't touch anybody, so that car's not too damaged until he goes back over and bang, right into Matthew Weeks.
I don't know if you noticed it there, David. Did you see that? Just that slight little overcorrection heading into the corner, trying to get that nose pointed to the inside. And when he did that, it jumped the car to the right. By the time he got it turned, looking to the inside to get that momentum on the outside, it was too far to the outside. And then, as you said, he jumps the berm, goes over the corner, caution comes out.
To the back?
It should be an EOL penalty, so we will see.
And if Ethan Burrell, I mean, that's it, man. Ethan Burrell's going to miss this race. He's back in 21st. He's only got 2 laps to do it.
So that'll be an end-of-the-line penalty for Burrell for bringing out the caution. He's got to make up 9 spots in 3 laps. Probably going to go out on a limb, say that's not going to happen.
Second in points is going to miss this race. That is absolutely insane. Ethan Burrell reporting he has no audio whatsoever, so that was the issue with him rejoining the track hard into Matthew Weeks. Wow. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to get a quote from Ethan if we can, Emily. Once this race is over.
Green flag back in the air again. Matthew Bayuk will take over the race lead, and he'll try to bring home the B main. Josh Adams right behind him, and my hand in third.
That put Josh Clark in. Michael Goodman, the one trying to take it from him here. Goodman and Clark are side by side for that transfer spot. Brandon Scott is out still. 2 laps to go. See if Goodman can get her in around Clark.
Oh, and honestly, if you're anyone in front of this, I would not be trying to do anything right now. Just ride along, get your transfer spot, and get into the A main. These guys in the back, though, final couple spots. It could get dicey here as we head into 3 and 4.
Oh, Goodman gets hit to Clark, and Jordan Owens gets into Goodman, and that'll end the battle for it. Josh Clark's going to make it into this race. Goodman will not. Owens will not. Scott will not. Sobel will not. Marshall Stanley will not. Harrison Talon won't. James Heater won't. Richard Lafferty won't make it. Ethan Burrell will not race in the feature. Huge. That is absolutely huge for the points. It virtually guarantees, I think, Ryan Lutz to win the regular season championship then. Ethan finishing 25th, guaranteed. That's a massive gap now that I don't know that Ethan's going to be able to overcome in the rest of the races we have left until the chase.
Yeah, definitely a big development there, and that's why Johnny puts this on the schedule, right? Makes it interesting, changes things up a little bit.
Yeah,
Drama here at Lernerville.
This is totally sent this race off the rails. And my, oh my, it's going to result in a catastrophic finish for Ethan Burrell, or he will not be involved in the race, this final race. And we mentioned all the drivers that won't be in. Now it's all about the drivers who are in the final showdown. And those are going to be led to the green by Dylan Thomas. He and Jack Reitz were almost completely untouched in their heat races.
Yeah, so unlike normal qualifying in our Erska races where fastest two go to the front row, this is coming off their heat race. So heat race winners will be on the front row. The cars that finish second will be in row 2 and so forth on back throughout the order. And then once we get outside the top 12, that's where your B main winner, first place, or second place, third, fourth will be following throughout the order.
Yep. And I think we're going to see a lot of contact, based on what we saw in those heat races. It gets really, really dicey. People are throwing very aggressive moves pretty constantly. And it's dirt racing, right? I mean, that's just what's going to happen. You're going to get that contact. You're going to get guys running into each other. It's really, really easy to knock somebody off the course at this track at Lernerville. So how far are these drivers willing to go for that race win? They got to catch these front two first. Reitz and Thomas look really rock solid. We'll have to see. Joe Francis was moving towards the front in that other heat race too. Wonder if 100 laps changes up who's really strong. But for that, we're going to have to find out here tonight as Dylan Thomas leads him down to the green flag, and he gets it. Thomas out front early.
Lernerville 100. A main is underway, and who can stay with this?
Oh, there goes Jared Mogard. He saves it. That's stacked up the field behind the leaders. The leaders get out to a huge jump.
Big development. That's going to
Crump.
That might be it for Crump. He took a big shot into the outside wall.
That is big damage for Scott Crump. Yeah, he might be hurting after that. Completely jumped the barrier exiting turn 4. Smashed it straight head on into the fence. It's very easy to do. Just slightly over driving exiting that corner, and you just drive it right off it's almost like a ramp, sending you directly head on into the wall right there. Nothing you can do. Bang.
Actually, it was maybe just a touch better than what I thought he had. It looks like he hit more with the right front than nose on. I thought if he hit nose on, that might be some significant engine damage, but might just be some aero damage. We'll see how it handles.
Yep,
here we are.
Here goes Crump. Oh man, that's heavy damage. I think regardless, I mean his toe is going to get knocked out. All the
oh yeah,
it's be kicked out of that 51 car, and he lost all that track position.
Oh, absolutely, David. I was just worried about significant engine damage. He went pretty hard into the wall. I didn't know if he hit nose on. That would have motor would have took the brunt of that. But yeah, definitely that car is going to be hurting the rest of the night.
Ethan Burrell just messaged me, said he lost audio during the consolation race and ran it off because he couldn't tell how much throttle he had in it. Oh, man. Just heartbreaking for Ethan Burrell.
Yeah, definitely a disappointment for a guy that has had some bad luck at times, but able to turn it around mid-race. This one not so fortunate for him. It's a bit, and we'll see how he can respond in the coming weeks. Still have to feel like he's one of the top guys up here for the championship. See if he can make up the points he loses tonight. Green flag in the air, and we are away again. And Dylan Thomas taking the lead, gets a good restart there on the outside, goes to the top line. A little bit better restart. Still going to slide up and barely, just barely stay on that top line.
Jumped underneath Hanshaw for that fourth spot, and Hanshaw's going to shoot it off the track here. Back on in front of Johnny Thomas, and that sends Ryan Lutz, the points leader, down the track.
Getting hectic back here outside the top 5. Tate Lytle all over Sherman as well, and Delicato trying to make a 3 wide inside of Francis, or outside of Francis.
So much going on here in the mid-pack. A lot of guys trying their best to make up ground. The guys on the bottom, they want to be on the top. Guys on the top don't want to be shoved to the bottom. Joe Francis and Josh Adams just going directly to the back. They have nowhere to go. They just can't get up to the top of the track. It's like a freight train, a reverse Martinsville.
Let me tell you, Joe Francis just had it like a real sprint car, modified car, and
that's going to be a caution.
He's going to get turned and sent into the inside wall. Caution still has not flown yet for Joe Francis. He's going to get it rolling. We're going to stay green, but Francis had picked up that left front tire last time coming out of turn 4, looking like a modified car on, an actual dirt modified car, but in a Xfinity car, and he's going to have a long way to go now because he's going to have Dylan Thomas breathing down his neck to put him a lap down.
And as we replay, just a quick update, Damian Leininger went around Kyle Hanshaw for 4th. That battle was pretty intense. They bounced off of each other a couple of times. Also, Ryan Lutz is back in 9th, and he's battling Tate Lytle right now very hard. And yeah, there you go. Joe Francis. And Lytle actually goes off the track here, so Lytle's going to lose a lot of spots. And Tate Lytle's off the track, and the caution is out. It might have been for this 56 car.
Yeah, the Lytle.
No, Leininger's off in 3 and 4 as well. So a bunch of issues happening all at once there. So let's do a replay on that.
David, I think if you go off down the backstretch, I'm pretty sure on this one. If you go off down the backstretch and come back on, no caution. But if you come off and jump back in the middle of the corner, that brings the caution out.
Man, Hanshaw pounds into Damian and sends him off there, and Damian rejoins it easily. But yeah, I think it's maybe, I'm not sure because Francis stopped on the track there, so that one's very curious indeed. We'll have to see how much the damage affects some of these guys who are getting involved in incidents early in this race. Only 13 laps so far in this one.
Well, then that maybe changes my opinion. If Francis stopped, I would feel like that would bring out the caution more than Leininger. I don't know. There was so much going on there. Either all 3 of those, either one of them could have prompted iRacing to bring out a caution.
You guys are going to have to bear with us. We're trying. There's so much going on. Dirt racing is very difficult to catch all the things happening all at once. And, we're already going back to green. I mean, it's been like 2 seconds here since that caution went out. So everything happens really fast on these dirt tracks.
Yeah, it's a very short track. Here we go. Dylan Thomas again on the throttle. Reitz will hold on to the second spot. Here comes Hanshaw. Johnny Thomas trying to make a run as well. He's into the top 5 now. He's got around Thomas Sherman.
Dallas Myhand off the track on the back straightaway there, and everyone makes it out okay. I think there's a slider. Someone smashed into Jeff Green there. Just a ton of stuff. And upside down is Leininger.
Caution flag going to fly as he's off the berm there in the corner, trying to come back onto the racetrack. The 12 car, Leininger not having much luck here so far.
I think he might have gotten up on the wall there or something. That was an odd happening there for the 12. And yeah, he has had a rough one. Oh, Tate got into him there. Goodness gracious. What a crazy turn of events for poor Damian. 1 minute he was passing for 4th.
I just got done talking to Damian. He said it was just a little slick So he's just waiting for things to kind of even out. And he said he just put too much throttle on it and came right back in, and we saw that third caution. So yeah, not a good night so far for Damien, but you know, there's a lot of race left, so we'll see. And I did tell him too, Dave, that you chose him, and asked him if that made him anxious, and he said no, it's fine.
Don't hate me when I messaged him back that told him I picked him, and he's already been upside down, so that worked out great for me, huh? My picks never seem to work out. I should have just kept my mouth shut and picked, Johnny Thomas, so he would be the one mad at me and not Damien. As it stands, no one has touched Dylan Thomas. He has led from the drop of the green flag, kind of as we thought he might. I have announced Dylan Thomas races on dirt, and I've seen him lead flag to flag, and I've only ever seen one guy able to run with him. He's very, very good when it comes to dirt racing.
The only problem is we haven't really had a green flag stretch for these guys to really put on a battle yet. Caution flags flying, even in 460 and 410 and 360 sprint cars. This is the case. Cars get together, get off the berm, come back on and cause cautions, and it takes a little bit for the track to work in and these guys to get comfortable before we'll see a green flag stretch.
That'd be tough. It's going to be like a mega short track race, if you will, as the first time we have a pass for second. And we have another couple of guys off the track. Chris Wright off the track now. Just all kinds of action going on. But Jack Reitz has lost second. Kyle Hanshaw now chasing after Dylan Thomas, and Jared Mogart also goes around Reitz.
Yeah, Reitz lost a couple spots there, stuck on the inside line. On the restart, he'll fall back to fourth. We'll see if he can get that 28 car, or 26 car, get going again.
Ryan Lutz with a sixth place run. I mean, that is remarkable given as Mogart takes second with a nice slide job around Hanshaw. He'll now have the top lane, the preferred groove entering turn 3. Hanshaw tries in. He's not going to get there. And he'll lose third place as well, I think, to Reitz here. He might even lose fourth to Johnny Thomas.
Yeah, tried to rotate the car, got too loose, overcorrected. The car jumped back up the racetrack, and away he goes, loses a couple positions. Let me tell you, Lutz is not in a bad position. The way these guys, they haven't been beating and banging on each other up front.
Sideways there, and he about lost it. Tate Lytle's going to try to get around us outside. Tate ramps it up the dirt. You were just talking about him.
I think Tate was looking for a new line here on the racetrack. Was going to pass him on the outside of the wall, but I was going to say they're not.
Oh, that's going to be.
Oh, there we go.
Tate wound it up, going through 3 and 4 right there, and that's a caution. That's in the back of the field.
That's Bayuk. I was going to say someone looped it out in 3 and 4, and it's Matthew Bayuk. Man, Tate Lytle's all over Lutz here tonight. They got together a couple times. I think
I think this is reactionary to seeing Lutz go completely sideways in front of him. Bayuk, gets it out of control, and then gets hammered by his teammate Indelicato.
Yeah, Indelicato got into him. I thought maybe it was just a little bit of throttle control, but nope, got a little help from behind, spinning that 29 car around. And, I think Tate actually, he hurt Lutz, but then saved Lutz because he kind of stood in the throttle a little bit and helped Lutz straighten that car back out. Otherwise, I think he would have been in the inside wall.
That Lutz really was. Tate got through turn 4 there so much better than Lutz did that he closed the gap so fast. He certainly didn't mean to get into him, but he had no way of knowing that Lutz wasn't going to go exiting turn 4, and just plowed right into Lutz, turned him sideways, and the points leader remains in 7th. So still a strong points day, given that his competition is out in 25th. But Ryan Lutz is going to need to be wary of these incidents and all these drivers around him pushing it really hard. Right now, the only driver who's really had any significant issues and is off the track is Nick Indelicato. He is 2 laps down right now. And he is, in fact, out of this race. So 23 cars remain on track, and I think any one of them have a chance. I mean, Damian Leininger's been upside down, and he's still 14.
Well, David, we talk when we watch our normal asphalt racing that it's kind of hard to slow these cars down. It is near impossible to stop these cars on dirt. And when you get a big run like that and someone checks up in front of you, there's nowhere for them to go at all.
And we'll see here if, Tate Lytle has shown some speed. He really got through those corners nicely. And 3 wide for the lead all of a sudden. Mogard shot it underneath, and so did Reitz. As it is, it's still going to be Dylan Thomas with Mogard right there. Hanshaw in third. Tate gets up and close to Hanshaw. Tate Lytle looking strong here in the 56 car.
Yeah, and that's a chance you take. You saw Reitz dive it on in there as they stack it up. There goes Massey to go over the berm and keep it on. Great job to keep it on. Reitz dove it on in there to make it 3 wide, lost all his momentum and loses a couple more spots back to the 4th spot, almost 5th spot after all that. And they're still bouncing off each other. Crump, Massey, Johnny Thomas, Ryan Lutz, they're all together. And Sherman almost getting shoved off the track now.
See sideways there exiting 2. He's going to lose a couple of spots. Might lose the 3rd to Leininger here. Man, this is great racing. It's crazy, though. I mean, there's a whole lot going on at all times. So many mistakes. It's so easy to lose your car on this racetrack, and you just have to persevere. You know, Damian Leininger right there, 11th place. He's been upside down in this race. That car, no hood. He don't care. He's going to drive it until the wheels fall off of it. Damian Leininger doing a great job trying to keep it back in there. You know, Johnny Thomas, no front nose. He's still going. Same for Scott Crump. He's been in the wall. He was one of our cautions as well, up into the top 10.
Lytle around.
Out as Crump goes off.
Well, Lytle went around, I think, as well.
Oh, man.
I thought I saw.
Okay.
I was
Josh
gonna say,
Adams was one who went off there too.
He might have saved it, but I saw that 56 car absolutely sideways in the middle of 1 and 2.
He's been struggling all day. He's self-proclaimed not a dirt racer, and Adams slides
looped
it,
it out.
spins it around. Yep. Oof. It's been a tough one there for these guys, especially guys like Josh Adams, who we've seen so much speed from of late. He's been really, really good, and he's really starting to come into his own here. I think he's going to be absolutely a threat for the championship, but he'll have to get there first. And a race like this, it might be tough to pick up a lot of points.
Let me tell you, I think Mogard was finally starting to kind of pressure Thomas there. The gap was down to about where they are right now, running on the caution flag here, and it could be interesting as we're not even halfway through this A-main yet.
Oh yeah, no, these guys are absolutely putting on a show, and that's what's making it so much fun right now. You know, I'm getting several different comments about people who are just really enjoying this racing. These guys are beating and banging on each other, and they're putting on a great show. They're doing everything right. You know, there's you see a lot of this contact. That's not these guys intending to throw, damaging moves to each other. These guys are throwing. This track is really hard running by yourself. We saw that with Ethan Burrell from the lead, spun it out. So just running it around other cars, I mean, you're going to lean on them. You're going to bounce off of them. Everybody's going to have something to say here at the end of the night. And everyone's chasing this 03 car of Dylan Thomas. He goes early again, and, man, he looks really strong.
Yeah, he's got this restart figured out. He's got it rolling a little bit better as he slides up to the top side once again. That one probably his best restart yet. He's going to try to check out early. Reit's having trouble again on the restart. Lytle's loose. Lutz is loose. They're both going to slide up. Sherman. Oh, everybody going to keep it on.
Ryan Lutz is one bad move away from just losing all of that point gap that he's going to accumulate with Ethan Burrell off track. Lytle now stuck on the bottom with Sherman up top.
Yeah, this is the 3rd straight time Lytle has almost got into Sherman and pushed him over the berm. I'm sure Sherman's glad to see that 56 car now in his rear. He's going to try to march his way towards the front now. Johnny Thomas moving backwards, losing momentum on the bottom line there. Looks like the speed is now up there in the cushion on that top line. It's really worked in now.
When Tate Lytle runs the top, he's one of the fastest cars on the track. But if you get him on the bottom, he goes straight to the back. And here he comes, throwing a slider on Sherman. He's not going to get there. Yeah, Lutz also completely sideways exiting turn 2 there. So these guys absolutely going crazy trying to make them moves on each other.
You can just tell there's just not much grip down there on the bottom line right now. No speed down there. Everyone got to go to the top side. It means it could get a little single file here for a little bit, but we'll see. I know these guys are going to be aggressive, try to pull a bunch of sliders. Don't know if they'll work. We'll see what happens.
Lost a couple of spots there. Mogard got into second once again, and he's going to be the one going after Dylan Thomas. Jack Reitz is in 3rd. Hanshaw 4th and Sherman in 5th, and a good run for Thomas Sherman. Since he's changed to number 17, we've seen a lot better runs out of that 17 car.
Dylan Thomas is absolutely checked out here on this last restart. Like I said, top line dominant now. Making it a little bit hard for these guys to pass and catch people. And so with one line, There you go. Caution going to come out. It was almost 2.5 seconds for Dylan Thomas.
Here, Chris Wright have damage, and I think they're going to end up a lap down here. Yep. Yep, that's what that is appearing to be. So Wright and Leininger both a lap down, and the way this looks, it looks like Wright's going to throw a slider and completely whiff it here. Nope, Damien gets into Colin Fambro.
Stack up effect right there.
And of course, the way that goes is, you know, Fambro's the one who checks the field there. Damien bounces off of him. He gets out of it to allow Fambro some time to catch it. Fambro gets out of it. Damien ends up in the inside wall with more damage.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. There's just no room to stop these Xfinity cars, and Leininger tries to help a fellow competitor out there and just gets run over from behind, and then it just accordion effect. I mean, we saw it at Bristol with the Cup cars. I mean, just how many times was there a parking lot in the dirt track because cars could not stop?
Yeah, I think this is going to end up, you know, with someone throwing a desperation move on Dylan Thomas. And to me, Mogard's you gotta throw it earlier. You know, I've watched Dylan Thomas race, and every race it seemed like it went this way. Dylan Thomas leads. If they ever get single file, he checks out. So what you've got to do is you've got to throw that leading move way earlier. You've got to get the lead away from Dylan Thomas. You've got to force him off the track. I mean, that's just dirt racing, right? You got to move him because he's too fast for you to not move.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, though. The way this is going, we might find an extra dirt race on the schedule next year for Erskine. Green flag back in the air. We are underway. Car sideways, going every which direction. And can Mogard give Thomas a challenge? Not as good of a restart. Crump into Johnny Thomas. 2 spots, 3 spots, possibly more, going backwards here for the 51 car.
It's got a chance. Reitz is around for third. Is he going to bring out the caution there? He stopped on track. Yes, he is. Jack Reitz to the back of the field now. And that is a break for either Leininger or Wright. Depends on who was out front in amongst them. I think it's going to be Chris Wright who's going to get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap there.
I was watching Thomas Sherman, Johnny Thomas, and Nick Massey were 3 wide halfway up the track, and I don't know how one of them didn't end up in the catch fence there on the front stretch.
Yeah, we might need to get a replay of this spin by Jack Reitz, and then a replay of that move by Sherman and Massey and Johnny. I think Reitz just misses it here entering turn 3. Right. Oh, Ryan Lutz spins him out.
Yep, gets some help. Good job stopping the 26 car there by Reitz, not getting into the tractor tire or the inside wall.
Yep, he's going to stay on the lead lap. Haven't seen a lucky dog being given to Chris Wright yet, so I'm trying to figure out if we even have lucky dog being allowed in this race. Looks like he's going to go around now here, so there it is. Chris Wright does get back on the lead lap, and that means Damien Leininger, the only car 1 lap down. He'll have a chance to get the free pass next time through. It's not over till it's over. These guys can't give up. You were involved in a wreck. You got some damage. It's all right. Keep on going. You'll have your chance later on.
David, I don't know if you know this question or know the answer, I should say, or not, but are we handing out the halfway points tonight or no?
Absolutely no idea. If they are, this restart will be quite wild. Oh no, we're past it. So it would have been those guys right there. Your top 10 right now. That would be your top 10 points, I believe.
That's why I was asking, because we had just hit the halfway point. That's the question for Johnny that I don't know, and I wouldn't really expect you to know either, but I was just curious if you did have an answer. So back to green we go.
Mogard still within striking distance of Dylan Thomas, and he's going to get to the inside of the 03 car. We could see a little slide job here from this 00. First real challenge anyone's been able to give Dylan Thomas all night long, and this 03, though, just on rails. So difficult to get through. We've got a pretty big incident at the back. I think Ryan Lutz got tangled up with some people.
Crump involved, Weeks involved, Johnny Thomas involved. Caution flag will fly.
And Damien Leininger got involved in it again there, and that guy can't catch a break because he won't get the lucky dog this time. Oh, Johnny's off the track there. That's what's going to cause this. Oh, nope, maybe not.
Massey stacked him up, and then just nowhere to go for that top line.
It's a whole cluster of them there crashing into the apron, and man, oh man, an absolutely wild race. I mean, how many cars have we seen all shortened up, no front nose? Here's Adams trying to get it, and Matthew Bayuk was off the track there. Look at all these guys stopping and slowing, and bang, Adams is into the wreck there. Nothing he can do.
Yeah, they're turning into modified cars now with all the panels missing off of them.
Yep, I mean, I think the worst one is Johnny Thomas's car. That's the car that looks the worst to me right now. No front nose, no hood, and no rear clip for Johnny Thomas. So he's gonna be pretty wild there. And yeah, 09 as well. Scott Crump does not look good. Dylan Thomas, not a scratch on the 03 car. He looks totally fine.
Same with Mogard. Mogard's car looks pretty clean. Look who's sitting in the third spot now. Thomas Sherman in the 17. He's been running inside the top 5 pretty quietly. We'll see if he can get up here and challenge these two for the race lead.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that Mogard has this kind of speed on the dirt. You know, he's been one of our strongest competitors on some of the bigger tracks, but had not been particularly good on the short tracks. You know, and this seems to be a strength of his is dirt racing. Green flag out once again. Ryan Lutz is in 4th. He's going to take 3rd from Sherman there. And what a big, big day that would be for Ryan Lutz to pick up a 3rd place finish while Ethan Burrell doesn't make the feature.
Yep, absolutely on the same thought process there, David. This would be a huge, huge night for Ryan Lutz if he can finish this off. And he could even pick up 1 spot, maybe possibly 2. We'll see what happens.
Yep, right now it's all about finding a way to get around Dylan Thomas, and who can do that. Dylan's just going to have to kind of avoid disaster at this point. You know, he just looks so rock solid, so smooth, and disaster could be one of these slower guys. Josh Adams has had some issues on this restart. He's right up in front of the leaders, and in fact, now that's going to draw a caution. Kyle Hanshaw around. Scott Crump also involved, and a couple of Toyotas that just look all beat to smithereens.
Yeah, very rough looking cars as they just get back up to speed again.
Emily, quick, go talk to either Hanshaw or Crump and see how they're feeling. Gotta go quick. These cautions go so fast. Here's the replay here, guys. Hanshaw's just gonna get, I guess, spun by Francis, though he kind of came up. It looked like he was going around regardless.
Yeah, I think Francis just gave him a little nudge there at the end. Hanshaw was already pretty well looped around.
And Scott Crump also involved in an incident here, and I think this will give Damian Leininger his lap back. Of course, as long as he wasn't involved in an incident this time.
Crump just looped it out, I think.
Yep.
I didn't really see anything that sent him around, so.
Oh yeah, so all that.
I think I'm starting to possibly see that bottom line start to work back in just a little bit. It's definitely not as good as the cushion up top, but we might start to see some guys go down to the bottom, get a little bit more grip, especially through 1 and 2.
Hey guys. Yeah, so I just talked to Scott. I know what you mentioned, the cautions go so fast here, so it's tough to kind of jump down and get a lot from these guys. But Scott just said, you know, it's just straight chaos out there. He said you could be faster than someone and still not be able to pass them. And I asked if he was involved in that most recent one there because I didn't see exactly what happened. And his response was, I think I've been involved in every single one of the cautions tonight. So tough one for him out there. And, you know, we'll see how the rest of this one goes.
Green flying back in the air. We got less than 40 to go here in this one. And a good restart for Mogard. He looks to the inside. Bottom line still not there. Actually, it was more of a middle line. Still not as there as much as that top line. Dylan Thomas uses it, rips the cushion off of turn number 4, and he'll take the lead once again.
It's just so precise with his rhythm up top there. He's able to do so much more than everybody else, and it's keeping him out front despite all these cautions. Josh Adams loops the 95 car, and he has really struggled tonight. Just had no answer for this evil speedway.
You know, this is the case with most of the times here at Lernerville. Heat races, a lot of good racing, get a lot of cars out here. Looks like was that Hanshaw and Weeks they got together, and then Adams gets into him.
Was kind of complaining. Didn't want to get the track. He was a little on edge about running dirt. Well, didn't really particularly want to. And the reason Matthew Weeks is even out here in the first place is Tate Lytle bought the track for him and told him, "Go, look, get out here, do your best, and you're going to have every bit of an opportunity to get up here and do well." And Weeks has been in the top 10, and he's been bouncing off of people just like everybody else in this race. So. I just think it's absolutely admirable that Tate did that for his teammate and was able to get him out here and get him running for the race tonight.
Oh, he made the feature. I'd say that's a pretty big accomplishment here tonight, especially for not really that big of a dirt racer to make the 24 car feature is pretty good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is even in 410 sprint cars. Feature gets slowed up a little bit as the track works in. You get one line, and everyone's forced to go up there. You jump the cushion, you get into guys. It's not as much, leeway with beating and banging in a sprint car as there is in an Xfinity car, but sometimes these features can definitely get slowed down with cautions a little bit.
Well, if anything, the sprint cars have dirt tires, and these cars are running on slicks.
Well, yeah, absolutely, but these Xfinity cars definitely have a little bit more room for beating and banging where you touch a sprint car and it's off the track, it's gone. So, but it's been a good show. I mean, definitely the cautions have provided some entertainment, especially with these guys beating and banging and leaning on each other a little bit. And we've seen some great racing. I mean, there's been some good battles all over the track. Who's that? Someone's going around in the back, another pile up.
You guys are starting to try to get too much on every restart here, and it's causing some of these extra incidents. Tough break for Dallas Myhand that time in the 09 car. And, I've been watching on these restarts. Mogard gets up alongside Thomas. I honestly think the only way Jared Mogard wins this race is if he decides to turn right once he gets up underneath Thomas and send him off the track down that berm. Maybe not the cleanest way to get up there and win a race, but about the only way he's going to be able to do it. Dylan Thomas is just so rock solid.
Yeah, track really hasn't gone through too many changes here in the feature. That top line, that groove, that cushion's still up there. It's going to be hard to pass somebody when it's, not really many lines in the dirt track right now.
Yeah, it's a very much a one-line track there, and it looks like finally, after I think 3 or 4 straight cautions of not getting the lucky dog for some reason, Damian Leininger gets that lucky dog and heads on by back on the lead lap. So upside down, backwards in the inside wall, Leininger finally back on the lead lap. He has had a whale of a day.
You mentioned it, David, that Mogard gets that good run into the corner, but Thomas getting that run off, that's just that grip in that cushion and having that top line, that's the difference.
Yeah, on the restarts, there's absolutely nothing Mogard can do on the bottom aside from slide up the track and bash into Dylan Thomas, and he hasn't chosen to do that yet. I think Jared Mogard has to bide his time, but that move has to be in the cards if you want to pick up this race win.
I can guarantee you, we get down to 2 to 3 laps to go, Mogard will be pulling some haymaker sliders trying to win this race if he's within any distance of having a shot at the win.
What come down to, I think, is who is going to be the bravest with their moves for the win. Tate Lytle's going to have an opportunity to take second away from Mogard here, and he bounces off of the 0-0. So now move Tate Lytle into second.
Sherman into the 4th spot. Lutz in the 5th spot. Solid day for the 36 car, but he might lose a spot. Sherman off the wall. He's going to bounce off it again. 3, 4, 5 spots. Sherman's going to lose. He'll get it rolling again. The back half of the top 10.
Look at this. 4 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, everywhere. There is a battle for second, and Jack Reitz just goes around Jared Mogard on the outside. Big crash in the back. Matthew Bayuk around. He's the only one, I think. That amazingly a one-car incident there in the back of the field.
Yeah, he got turned in front of about 6 cars. Might have got a little love tap from somebody, but like I said, surprisingly, there wasn't 10, 12 cars involved in that one.
That was a remarkable a bit of racing there. It's few and far between with all these cautions, but man, oh man, when these guys get going 3 and 4 wide, very, very entertaining stuff, man. Dirt racing is awesome. I wouldn't want to do it every week, but once in a while seems all right.
I think
Hayek
it would
having
be.
a tough day as well. He's another one that's been around or in the wall a lot.
I think it would be. I think it would be kind of cool. We have like the little short track shootout deal where we have 3 or 4 short tracks. It would be cool if we did like maybe a 2 or 3 race dirt track within our season to do kind of the same thing. I think it would make it interesting and fun to watch.
I think so too. We've got the Bristol dirt track now on the schedule, and that was one of my favorite tracks to run. Period. But I think John, me and Damien actually were talking about this when we went and practiced earlier this weekend. Was Johnny Thomas threw this track on the schedule with the temptation of Eldora and a lot of those other dirt tracks that everybody knows, Bristol dirt being like the main one. He threw it on there as if to say, hey, look. This is going to be a different experience. This is going to be special. Bristol dirt, Eldora, we've done it. Even though it's the Xfinity car without the dirt tires, we've done it. Lernerville is a completely different experience. I've never even seen NASCARs on this racetrack, and Johnny's been able to put together what is a fantastic race so far.
Yeah, I think it's been fun to watch. The drivers may not agree so much, but from a broadcaster and fan perspective, it's been a blast. Up here watching this one, and Thomas, caution flag flies with 22 to go as we make it through turns 1 and 2.
Josh Adams might have had some struggles there getting up to speed. Yeah, that's what's going to be the problem. Adams has been all over the racetrack tonight. And oh, no, he just got spun, actually. So he's going to get spun by Matthew Bayek there. So, man, just a crazy amount of incidents tonight. Just nothing you can pin on anybody either. It's not like these guys are driving poorly. It's just a product of this racing. You see there, Adams kind of gets it a little sideways getting on the gas and spun by Bayou. Race car picks up Dylan Thomas, and I still don't know that anybody's going to have anything for Dylan Thomas. He seems to be the man on a mission tonight. Mogart did get second from Lytle there, and I think Reitz is going to be back in third. A really good recovery for Reitz, who was spun out on one of our cautions a little bit ago. Now it's Dylan Thomas, Jared Mogart, Tate Lytle, Jack Reitz, Nick Massey into the top 5. Massey struggled a little bit in that heat race, but he has really come on strong, kind of in typical Nick Massey fashion. At the end of this race, he's been quite good at getting through all this traffic and all those incidents. He's been relatively clean when it comes to those involvements.
Yeah, we're under 20 to go now, so it's going to be interesting. I think the guys have already kind of been pushing to try to get up there because they know how hard it is to pass and everything, and that's why the cautions have been flying. But we'll see. Dylan Thomas with another great restart into turns 1 and 2, goes to the cushion. Here comes Reitz, though. He's back through. He's going to get a run outside of Mogart here down the back stretch. We'll see if he can carry it. Almost went off the track. It kind of broke his momentum, but he's going to have the line through 3 and 4. We'll see if he can hold it out of 4 back to the line. Reitz back up to the second spot.
Yep, Jack Reitz trying everything to make that recovery complete. Get up here and challenge Dylan Thomas. He'll get to second. He's probably going to need a caution and another restart to have a real chance at Dylan Thomas, but what a drive, what a recovery for this 26 car. Now the battle's for third. Lytle and Mogart. That's going to go to Mogart. Here comes Massey for fourth on Lytle. Caution's out there.
Oh, David, I was going to say,
Ooh, tailed off the track there as well.
we say that he needs another caution, but I mean, it just takes one simple little mistake by Thomas, just overdriving that corner, and that lead could be gone.
Kyle Hanshaw's going to get into turn 3 here, and I think just loop it. Oh, he gets into Matthew Weeks. And I guess he stopped it long enough for the caution to wave. That probably shouldn't have been an incident at all there. Number 14 on the day.
And David, there's been so many races I've called here at Lernerville where you think that's it, right? Dylan Thomas has got it. He's out by over a second or whatever. All of a sudden, just like Burrell, you look up, he blows the corner, he's off the berm, and now you have a new race leader, and it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, what's great though, I've called a lot of Dylan Thomas dirt races. I have never seen him screw up the corner. It's at least 5 races now. Guy has been perfect every single time. He is so good at running these dirt tracks. I don't know where he does it. I don't know how he gets it, but he just seems to be the guy when it comes to dirt racing. And this is a dirt track. You can't practice this. This is not on the surface anywhere. These cars don't have dirt tires. Dylan Thomas is still on the cushion. Car's rolled over on the right rear. He's driving it perfectly for a dirt car. I just tell you, I've never seen him make those kinds of mistakes. And all the rest of these guys, they're not. They're oval regulars, and Dylan Thomas is a dirt regular, and he seems to be the kind of guy who can just make it happen on this dirt track.
I'd be ready. If he blows this corner, you know he's coming for you.
Oh, I know, but I've told you, it's not likely.
The only thing, I agree with you, the only thing that I think would be likely is if someone decides to pull a big slider and take him out, and Reitz did not get a good restart at all.
Tough for Reitz to be able to do anything here. He's trying the bottom lane. He's son of a B-side. Not enough, and Tate bounces off the back of Reitz, and that just opens the door for Dylan Thomas to drive away with this one. They need a better restart if they're going to have any hope of taking out Dylan Thomas from the lead. 11 laps to go.
Yeah, Reitz slid up the track there, tried to fall in line, and Lytle closed the gap quickly, got into him. Now they're going to do
around.
battle for second and third. It looks like we're going to stay green. They're sorting around Campbell. Campbell losing quite a few positions. Going to go into the corner. I was nervous about him getting back in the throttle, running somebody over. But, man, they are 2, 3, 4 wide, somehow keeping it all straight. Man, I don't know how there's not some big pileup.
It's incredible racing right there. It's all way behind Dylan Thomas. Mogard has made it into second ahead of this gigantic battle. Adams is off. That might be the caution right there. Nope, Adams is going to be back on.
Weeks into the wall.
This is great stuff here. You can't get frustrated. You have to make sure that you keep composed because there's always a chance someone in front of you misses the next corner and messes up.
Dylan Thomas is absolutely checked out, though. Up over 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds almost now. Ahead of Mogard, then it's Lytle, Reitz, and Massey. How about Nick Massey bouncing back with the top 5?
Strong. I mean, Thomas is going to get into lap traffic here if he isn't careful. These guys are really going after each other in the back of the field. You got Bayuk, Leininger, Myhan, Clark, Hines, Wright, all going back and forth, swapping spots. I mean, and here's the battle for fourth as well. Mogard, Massey, Lutz.
Mogard got a very bad run out of turn number 2. Allowed these guys to close in. Massey turned it down below, got loose. He's going to lose at least a spot.
Here out now.
Trump.
Chris Wright.
Right. You know who that actually might favor is Dylan Thomas.
I don't know if anything could favor Dylan Thomas at this point. And you see there just a bunch of extra contact there, and Wright goes around.
I'm just thinking if you're Dylan Thomas with how they've been racing back here, the last thing I'd probably want to get into right now is some lap traffic with these guys beating and banging off each other.
I don't know that the restart is the only way anyone's close enough to bounce off of Dylan Thomas and move him for the win. And with the importance of this chase coming up, Dylan's not. He's near enough to the chase to be able to maybe get into the wild card spot, but he won't be able to point his way in. These guys who are up here in the points or on the bubble, Tate Lytle being probably one of the main ones. A win is everything right now. Those guys, him and Jared Mogard, maybe the biggest one, where he might not be able to point his way in. He's got to get a win here in the next couple of races. You're running fourth now. What better time than now?
Here's what I would expect out of Dylan Thomas here. He's been getting the good jump on the restart. Look for him. He's been going to the top of the racetrack using that cushion. Look for him to run a defensive slider, start low in the corner, slide up, try to take away any run that anyone would have from the inside to take him out.
Yep.
That would be my guess of how he's going to play this
be defensive
restart.
Here. He's got to get away. He's got to get on the gas early and hope that Tate Lytle can't get inside of him and bounce him off the berm.
Gonna have 3 to go, and we go green once again. Green-white checker to decide it here at Lernerville.
Lytle's
already
close.
trying to get into
He
him.
bounced off
And he
of
did do
Thomas.
it.
He bounces off of Thomas a couple of times. Tate Lytle roughs up the leader. Is it enough?
He did it way before Dylan Thomas was expecting to, and it still was not enough. Dylan Thomas able to muscle that 03 car, keep it straight through turns 1 and 2. And he's going to come to the white flag. This will do it. Last lap. Lytle's got to throw a haymaker here.
This is it. This is it. Can Lytle get there to the bottom and throw the slider? Big wreck behind. Never mind. The white flag's already out. Thomas the lead. Lytle throws to the bottom. It's all Dylan Thomas.
Yep, not enough room. Lytle going to throw the slider, not in time. Dylan Thomas puts on a dominating performance here at Lernerville.
And good news for Ethan Burrell. Ryan Lutz finishes 15th after chaos in the last 2 laps.
Oh, he did it, David. I think he did it even way earlier than what Dylan Thomas was expecting. Tate Lytle got into him down the front stretch there before they even got to turn number 1.
That's an incredible finish and a great job by Tate Lytle. Tate probably could have put Dylan in the wall there, sent him off the berm. Chose not to. Roughed him up a little bit, gave him the business. Every little bit that he could to rattle the cage of that 03 car. He went unfazed. Dylan Thomas takes home the win on dirt. I'd say it was a surprise, but I'm telling you, I've never seen this guy lose a dirt race. It seems like he's so good on these dirt tracks, and even a weird car with a weird setup still wasn't enough for Dylan Thomas to lose that spot. And I just got to throw the shout-outs to some of these guys in the top 10. Damian Leininger was upside down. Scott Crump was our first caution. Matthew Bayou must have been around 5 or 6 times. Those guys all finished in the top 10.
Nick Massey was on the verge of not even making the feature at one point. And he finishes in 4th. I mean, just tells you, you don't have to necessarily be fast, but if you can keep your car straight and out of trouble, look at what happens. And sometimes not even that. Like you mentioned, Damian running in the 7th spot. I mean, how many times did he get in a crash?
Going back to this final restart, we might want to take a look at it there. Ryan Lutz got a horrible restart. He might have even missed a shift or something. Just completely didn't get going. He lost all those spots. That's what happened there. Yeah, first of all, let's watch Tate Lytle and Dylan Thomas here, but watch Lutz. Lutz just doesn't even get going. And then right there, bang, Lytle and Thomas into each other. And Lytle, I think, probably could have gassed it up and pushed Thomas off right there and didn't do it. What a great job by those two guys. And through the field here, I mean, it was just chaos coming down to the wire. All Dylan Thomas, though. We'll have to get these guys up in the booth here to interview with Emily here. So let me bring Tate Lytle in to talk to Emily. I don't see Dylan Thomas in here just yet. So we'll send it down to Emily for an interview with Tate Lytle.
Hey, Tate, do you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I just want to start with those last couple laps there when you kind of put a move on Dylan. Can you just kind of take us through that, what your thoughts were?
Like the last 2 laps there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hit him. I got a really good restart, and I was hoping that I could throw a slider on him in 1 and 2. And I think I clipped his left rear, and the way these cars are on iRacing, they kind of, once you tap them, it's kind of, they react more than they would in real life. So I'm just glad that neither of us wadded it up there, and he was able to still get the win.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the track tonight?
I mean, I hit everything but the pace car, and that's impossible because it's transparent, but I had a blast, and I will happily take P2 on a dirt track, especially to Dylan, because Dylan's known for kicking ass on these things, so if I'm going to finish second to anybody here, it's be him.
Awesome. Would you like to see more dirt tracks in Erska, or are you kind of like one and done?
I think 1 per year is perfect. Because I did have a blast, but I don't know if I want to do it more than once.
Totally hear ya. Before we let you go, are there any shout outs you'd like to give tonight?
Yeah, I got at least Dad watching. Dad was sending me tips throughout the race.
Oh, awesome.
He used to race dirt back in the early 2000s, and I don't know if Uncle Ryan and grandparents are watching or not, but if they are, shout out to them. Shout out to Brent Wentz, days gone by. check out his Etsy page. Got a lot of cool vintage racing stuff on there. I know I've spent some money on there before, so you might as well go do it too. And yeah, Johnny and Ethan, everyone that puts it together, that was a lot of fun.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for the time, Tate, and congrats on coming in second tonight.
Thank you.
Yep, that's Tate Lytle there, and now we'll send it in for our race winner, Dylan Thomas.
Hey, Dylan, do you have a copy?
Yes.
All right. Well, I just want to start by getting your thoughts on this race here tonight. What do you think of the dirt track?
I love it.
I heard you're pretty good at them. I picked you as the winner tonight with some recommendations. So what makes you so successful on dirt tracks?
That's really what got me into iRacing was the dirt stuff. I mean, I ran asphalt way back before dirt came out, but when dirt came out, that's what really got me into it. I started doing that, did it a lot, and then got back into asphalt, and I've been here ever since.
Those last couple laps there, I know Tate kind of got into a little bit. We just talked to him before we talked to you. He said it wasn't really intentional. When that happened, were you a little worried that you were maybe going to lose the lead?
He got into me. I just turned left and said, he's going to spin himself. He keeps coming up. So just stayed in the throttle and prayed to God I come out of turn 2 on the track.
And what was your strategy when you were coming into this race tonight?
Lead every lap.
And you were successful at that. Before we let you go, are there any shout outs you'd like to give?
I got to thank Mach M Designs for always giving me a good looking ride. And usually I got to thank Jack for spotting, but he decided to jump in the driver's seat tonight, and I think he run third. So hats off to him and everybody else at Southern Sim Racing for helping me along.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for the time tonight, Dylan, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, and thank you all for the broadcast and Johnny for putting this deal together.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Yep, that's Dylan Thomas, our race winner. Now we'll grab third place Jack Reitz. I guess he's apparently Dylan Thomas's spotter out the other times, so we'll send it down to Emily for that now.
Hey, Jack, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Well, we just got off talking to Dylan, and he said you're normally his spotter, but you decided to jump in and race tonight and came in third. Why were you so successful on this one tonight?
One reason only. I'm a dirt guy. I run super late models, UMPs, sprint cars, you name it. I run dirt, and I just was like, I helped with this building the setup. Johnny reached out to me and was like, "Hey, let's can you help me out with the setup? I want a dirt guy to help out." And sure enough, we got it going, and track just suited me. Once it got slick, I knew me and Dylan were going to be hard to beat, but all in all, it was a fun race.
So as a dirt guy coming into this, what was your kind of strategy for this race tonight?
Honestly, I usually don't qualify very well, so I was just going to focus on transferring, making the show, and then just ride for a majority of it, but it turns out I qualified pretty dang good, and at that point I was like, all right, let's just go for it. Let's see what happens, and got tangled up with some stuff on about halfway and just kept my head down and kept pushing.
Yeah, I was going to mention there were quite a few cautions out there tonight. So how were you able to kind of stay out of the big ones?
Really just looking ahead. I recently got VR, and that really allows me to look further ahead, and also be able to place the car where I need to. I drove around some sliders that were a little close, but there was no contact. I think I made it through that whole race with 4 incident points after driving through the field. So it was a lot of fun, but definitely a little stressful and not how I anticipated on getting third.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, are there any shout outs that you would like to give tonight?
Oh, I got to give a shout out to y'all first and foremost. Y'all do an awesome job with the broadcast. Dylan, he's typically my driver that I spot for. He drove a whale of a race, and on the dirt aspect, I got to give a shout out to all the boys over at Vanderpool Racing. and some of our sponsors like Jack's Wax. They're always helping us out on the dirt side of things, and I get to have fun over here on Monday nights.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for the time tonight, and congratulations on coming in third.
Thank you.
Well, that was certainly a crazy race, and Dom and Emily, I enjoy doing dirt races, but there's so much going on at all times. It's really difficult sometimes to be able to cover everything that happened.
Yeah, you definitely have to. Oh, go ahead, Emily.
Oh, nope. I was just going to say that I thought you guys did a fantastic job, holding it down and getting to as many things as you possibly could. It was a little bit more difficult on my end to jump down because there were so many cautions and they were a lot quicker than normal. But I thought you guys did an excellent job. I really enjoy watching it. I thought it was super fun, but I kind of got the feeling that the majority of the guys didn't maybe enjoy it as much, the ones that kept maybe getting into some trouble there. But it was a fun one, and I thought you guys did a great job.
David, definitely have to keep your head on a swivel when at a dirt track because there's, as you said, so much going on. And there was good battles all over. Not really for first because Dylan had it locked down most of the night, but anywhere else throughout the top 23 other cars. It was anytime at any point in the race, they were either banging on each other or battling for a position.
Oh yeah, and I think this is going to shake up the points a decent amount. Tate eats into Ethan's and Lutz's lead with that second place finish. Though I think Ryan Lutz pulls out to almost a full race over Ethan Burrell now with this 15th place finish, just by virtue of Ethan being outside the top 25. But Lutz was on pace to get a lot more over Ethan, and as it stands, the gap will be about 25 to 30 points, somewhere in there, depending on those halfway points that we don't know if they exist. But the real battle, and we'll cover it, I hope, next week. We'll try to be on a little early and kind of get the playoff bubble as we come up to it. We are only 2 races away from the Chase drivers start, and right now there are 3 drivers by my count outside the top 10 in points with a win, which would mean it's up to tie breaks and for those wild card positions outside the top 10. So the only surefire way to get in is to get in by points, and I think Cameron Rich and Dylan Thomas won't be in by points, which means Gerald Campbell is the one who's on the outside looking in, even though he has a race win right now, and 13th today might be enough to get him back in. The battle for 10th the next couple of weeks is going to be absolutely intense.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, closing in on the last half of the season. It was a fun one here tonight.
Yeah, looking through, I think they are going to put up the point standings here right when we get it, and it's going to be 21 points between Lutz and Burrell now, looks like. So pretty big shift there. Campbell does jump into the top 10 in points. In Delicato right now, the first one out. So he probably looking back on a couple of those races that he almost won down with a bit of an issue. But as it stands, I am David Westergreen, along with Dom Santina and Emily Harlan. Thank you guys for coming, and any final words from you guys?
No,
Fun time.
just yep, same. It was a lot of fun tonight. I had a blast.
Alrighty, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week from the Daytona Road Course. 2 more races until the Chase. Be there.